How you doing? My name is Kenneth and I'm the Lone Dice Guy. Thank you so much for joining me for my 5th edition solo adventure as Ming Zhao, a monk of the Order of the Dragon. Today, Ming begins his journey deep into the heart of the mountains to the dwarven capital of Deep Jord. Let's begin the adventure now. Okay, everything's been set up. So remember last time, Ming, to go prepare for the journey, kind of went into the town and was walking around and heard some rumors. And we put those threads into our fate or Mythic GM Emulator adventure tracking sheet. So we got a couple threads that we're tracking right now. But the main thread we're focusing on is we're helping Karvok go into the mountains back to the dwarven capital. Remember, Karvok said that these passes used to be relatively safe, that the merchant militia, the outfit that Mythic Soldat, his nephew, is a part of, that it's been relatively safe in the past. But for whatever reason lately, the merchant militia is not patrolling as much as it used to, and it seems like the monsters that are coming out of it are worse than they've been in the past. So, don't know what's going on with that, but we'll find out today. So, we're going into the mountains. Let's do this. But before we do that, we got to set our scene. So, what that means is we roll on a D10 against our chaos. Now, chaos is currently at 5. Since we're starting the new adventure or the new arc of the adventure, we're just going to be back at 5 again. So that means that if we roll higher than a 5, nothing happens. It goes. So if 6 or higher, nothing happens, it goes okay. But if we roll 5 or lower, and if it's an odd, so if it's a 1, 3, or a 5, it's an altered scene. So it means the scene's changed from what we think it'll be. It's not quite the same. But if it's an even, so 2 or 4, then it's an interrupt scene, which means that something interrupts the scene entirely, and it may even change the scene completely from what we thought it would be. So let's roll. So we're rolling against our chaos rank of 5. A 10. So that's good. That means the scene goes on exactly as we thought it would. There's nothing wrong. Nothing changes in our scene today. So, and here's the setup. Ming they're prepared for the journey. They're ready to go, and they're heading into the mountains. Now, I've done a lot of pre-work, and I do a lot of that sometimes for these sessions. Off the camera, I'll roll some stuff, or I'll randomly generate things just to keep the show moving a little bit more smoothly. I've done that for this little adventure. And so I pre-generated the caravan that Ming and Karvok are traveling with. Remember, this is Karvok's caravan. This is, in my head, I'm assuming that this is like people that he's worked with before. These are craftsmen and tradesmen that he trusts, that they're not gonna backstab him if something happens. These are people that he knows he can count on. And so I generated 6 wagons altogether. I generated 12 people, 12 individual souls through the whole caravan. So that does not include Karvok and Ming. So there's 14 people in the whole caravan. And then there are going to be 5 segments of the trip. I rolled a d6, got a 5. There's going to be 5 segments on the trip from where they are now to the dwarven capital. So what does that mean? It means that because I've done that, because I've pre-generated that, we can just kind of jump on in. But before we do, remember I said there are 12 people excluding Ming and Karvok. I took the liberty of adding some NPCs to the caravan so that we could introduce them. I've been wanting to introduce them for a while, and rather than waiting to roll a random event to introduce them, I thought this would be a good time to do so. So Ming comes back, the day before, Ming is going out, hearing all these rumors. He comes back, puts all the stuff he's gathered into the carts. As he's eating dinner with Karvok, and they're talking, just no small talk really, he's going to glance over across the fire pit. You've got the entire company, the entire, party, not party, but the entire company is kind of around the fire. But just beyond the circle he sees 2 figures sitting on a log eating their dinner. Ming doesn't recognize them. I'm assuming that most of the people in Karvok's caravan company he recognizes. At least he may not have a relationship with them, but he recognizes them for sure. And so, whenever he sees these two figures off just outside the ring of light from the fire, he's gonna nudge Karvok. Karvok, who are they? I don't recognize them from anywhere. Ah, Ming. So, when you were gone, I also hired someone else. What? No. I can do it. I can handle this, Karvok. I've no doubt that you can handle it, okay? None whatsoever. I believe that you can handle it. But help is always good, right? You really don't trust me, do you? It's not about trust, my boy. It's not about trust. It is about business. Understand? This is business. I want to make sure that this mission is a success, and so I've hired more people to make it a success. That's all. And they were going that way anyway. They were already going to be traveling that way. Why not employ their services? Surely you understand. I do. I could do it. I can handle this. I'm stronger now. Do you not see? I'm stronger now. I can handle this. I know. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. Fine. Why don't you go get to know him? You'll be working with them. So Ming, I don't think Ming's gonna want to get to know them. Honestly, I think he's just kind of over it. He was so excited about being the protector for once. I really think that this is gonna put him really down. But just because I feel like it, I'm gonna have Ming do I'm gonna have him do a wisdom check. DC is gonna be 10, just 10, just straight up 10. Oh, wow, 14. All right. So he is, even though he doesn't really want to, he's going to go up and talk to them. And so he grabs maybe there's a piece of dessert or something. He grabs something to offer to them. And he goes over and as he's walking up, the two notice him look up. And Ming sees it immediately. He didn't see it from maybe back then because the light wasn't as it wasn't as well lit over there. But he sees now, as he's coming closer, that these are two half-orcs. And he kind of stops for a second. There are like one or two half-orcs at the monastery, but he's never really interacted with them. So this is a first for him. He just kind of slowly approaches and he nods his head, and what looks to be a larger one, there's one that's clearly much larger, more bulky, definitely stands up. And he's got on, looks like kind of like just robes. Almost like an acolyte's robes. And he steps forward. Ah, you must be the monk that Karvok was talking about. Yes, my name is Ming. And he does the customary salute. Ming. Well met. I am Corban Kairo. I'm at your service. Yes. No need to be so formal. Well, I'm not being formal. This is my normal countenance. Okay. Well, nice to meet you, Mr. Kairo. Corban will be fine. Corban, nice to meet you. And who is this? Ah. And so when he motions with his hand, and then the other one stands up and removes the hood, and clearly it's a female. Like Ming doesn't know what half-orcs look like or anything, but he can clearly see this is a female. And so she steps up. Hello there. Nice to meet you. I am Rahav. It is nice to meet you, Rahav. You friends with Corban? And she kind of smiles a little bit. I am his wife. Oh. It's nice to meet you then. Likewise, traveler. You You're wearing the robe. Both of you are wearing the robes of clergy. Are you both clerics? At that point, Corban reacts quite wildly. Clerics? I am no cleric. I am a paladin of Saranrae. I protect the weak. I defend the defenseless. And I do my best to bring glory to her name. I am a paladin. Never forget that. Yes, of course. Ming's kind of taking a step back. And then Rahav steps forward. I am a cleric of Saranrae. Yes. My husband and I both. We are both members of the same church. It is nice to meet you both then. I can count on your protection and Saranrae's blessing in our journey then. Of course, traveler. Wonderful. I'm going to go over here now. Of course. I look forward to working with you, young monk. Ming kind of looks down a bit. But you do not look forward to working with us. You seem despondent. I will appreciate your help, but I do not need it. I am fully capable of taking care of myself. I have no doubt. I am here meant simply to protect the caravan and my new employer, Mr. Karvok. I am sure you understand. I do. But I don't need your help. Understand? I can handle this on my own. This trip will be dangerous. Dangerous. Do you understand that? We understand, boy. We understand, young monk. We're not worried about this. We will be fine. I promise. Saranrae guides us. I've no doubt. I pray that your God protects you. Don't worry. She will. Fine. Good night. See you in the morning. See you in the morning, young monk. So Ming goes back and sits down with Karvok again. They small talk. Nothing really important comes up. All right. So I think that was okay. That was fine. I'm actually going to call that a scene. We're going to start a new scene because I just feel like that was appropriate. So we're now next morning and the caravan's ready to go. All the supplies are loaded up. Ming makes sure he has all of his stuff. Now this morning, instead of their clergy robes, Corban and Rahav are decked out. Corban is in a nice, huge, cast iron plate mail. He's got large cast iron pauldrons, a mace that's hanging off his side, a huge shield on his back. I mean, he's decked out in full paladin regalia and armor, and there's a nice emblem of Saranrae on the back of his shield. And then Rahav is likewise decked out in some clerical armor. It's not as obviously decked out as Corban, but she's well protected, well covered, and she's able to move around and act in combat. She's also got a large sack at her side. Clearly, she's more of the support role in their adventuring relationship. And so these two look ready to go. They look way more professional than Ming ever did. And so they've clearly done something like this before. So everything's set up. Everything's ready to go. Our chaos rank, we're going to keep it at 5 because really nothing special happened last scene. So let's roll to see if something happens. Our setup is this. They're going into the mountains. Let's go. 3! Oh no. So an odd is an altered scene. An altered scene means it changes a little bit. Something happens. We're still doing the scene, but it's not quite what we envisioned and imagined it to be. All right. I'm going to roll a d12. 12, if we roll a 12, then the weather is perfect as they're going up. Remember, this is late fall, very late fall. Winter is basically right around the corner. So 12, perfect weather. 1, early snow. Let's see. And then in between, right? A 12! Woo! That's a good start. That's a very good start. Okay. So the weather is pristine. Perfect. Can't go wrong. This is a really bad sign. Every time anything really good happens, something horrible happens. All right. So weather's fine. They leave out. It's beautiful, bright, sunny morning. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's still crisp, right? We're in the mountains, so it's still crisp. It's still kind of chilly, but you could not ask for better traveling conditions. And so that begs the question, if the scene is altered in any way, it's not what we thought it was. If it's not the weather, what is the problem? What has caused the scene to be altered in some way? Let's turn to our fate. Let's turn to our random event generator from Mythic. We're just going to roll a meaning and an action real quick. So that's 91. Pursue, 35. Pursue legal matters. Pursue legal matters. All right. The team heads on up into the mountains. The path, remember, this is a frontier region, so it's definitely rough and tough, but it's not unfrontiered, right? It's not complete wildness. So there is a crude path going through the mountains to the Dwarven capital. Remember, it's been used as a trade route before, so no problem. As the caravan kind of starts on the path, they're going to come upon a station, a way station. Now, normally this would be a station manned by the merchant militia. They keep tabs on who's coming in and out of the region. They enact maybe a small toll or small fee to get by, just whatever. They're the ones that maintain order. So the big question is that still the case? We've established last episode that there is something going on. We're not sure what, but there's something going on. So let's go to our fate chart. I'm going to say it's somewhat likely that they're still in control. Somewhat likely. Chaos rank of 5. So a 60 puts us at a yes. All right, so they are still in control. They're still the ones maintaining this deal. So again, what has altered it? Is Modig at the... Because pursue legal matters, I have an idea. Is Modig at the station? 50-50. 60 again, which puts it at a no. So Modig's not there. So they come upon the station. Karvok causes the caravan to stop. He's obviously in the front. He talks to one of the guards. The guards walk up. Clearly a merchant militia regalia. Oi, if you want to go into the mountains, you got to pay the fee. Right. What's the fee this time? Karvok is very trying to get out of there. Oi, just another 2 gold, same as always. 2 gold? Listen, it was a gold last week and a month before that. You guys are extorting. Do you want to get through or not? And at that point, you see several of the guards kind of like grab their spears a little bit, looking a little ready to go. Ming puts his hand on Karvok's shoulder. I think we better pay. Right. So he reaches into his pocket and tosses 2 gold to the guardsman. He takes it, pockets it. Right, thank you, sir. Let them through. Stupid extortion. So Karvok's not happy. He's cursing in Dwarvish as they go past. I'm thinking in my head, the reason that made this altered is that I think the merchant militia is starting to take advantage of the fact that people want to reestablish trade with the Dwarven capital. Remember we said that there seems to be multiple factions in the merchant militia, and I think one of those factions wants to profiteer off of the current chaos in the mountains, at least. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see if that's true. I don't know. All right. moving on. So we got 5 segments for the journey. So I'm going to roll off of the random encounter table for the mountain regions in Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Now, I'm looking at this table, and it's going to be pretty interesting. So, let's see what happens, if anything happens at all. So 29. All right, our intrepid trade caravan is wandering up the valley through the mountains, going up the path. Now, keep in mind that, remember that Karvok has said, stronger monsters have been appearing lately than ever before. And he's about to find out. And Ming's about to find out what that means. So, as they are coming around the bend, they see a cave off to the left. Now, Karvok has said, we're not stopping until it's time to stop for the day, stop for the night. And so Ming, ignores the cave and goes on. But about once the caravan gets about halfway past it, there's a loud booming voice that Ming recognizes as Corban's voice. We're under attack! Now, of course, at that point, Karvok causes the caravan to stop. You want to make sure everybody's safe. Ming jumps out of the caravan and runs back to where he heard Karvok's voice come from. And then he sees it. Coming out of the cave is this lizard-looking creature. It's got several, like 3 or 4 sets of legs. It's got a tail with spikes coming off of it. Its eyes are almost like diamond-like, but pitch black. It looks like it has spikes coming out of it, and those spikes look like they're made of some kind of crystalline material. It looks kind of gross. And he sees in front of it Corban with his shield, not looking at it. And and then he also sees Rahav quickly covering her eyes like this. And then the creature starts to turn towards Ming, and Karvok screams top of his lungs, "Don't look at it!" And Ming quickly looks away. Why? Why? It'll turn you to stone! Don't look at it! Freaky. It's a basilisk. So, let's begin our combat encounter. Roll initiative for Ming. 18. Corban rolled 17. Rahav rolled 11. And the basilisk rolled a 7. Oh, 2. Oh, sorry, 2. Cool. So that's great. Good order. I like it so far. This is turning out really, really good in our favor. So, Ming being told, don't look at it, it's his turn first. He's going to take his boomerang and throw it at the creature. Woohoo. So, it's going to be an 11 to hit. Oh, that's going to miss. So, Ming throws it. First time using it in combat, okay? First time using it in combat. It whiffs right above the head of the creature. It comes back, he grabs it, catches it, no problem. Ming is going to keep his distance for now, and we'll let the others take their turns as well. So now it's Corban's turn. Corban has his shield in front of him and his mace in his hand. He's slowly inching forward. He knows he can't even look at this creature for fear of it looking back. And so he's not a distance fighter, so he's gonna have to get close. It's about a 20 foot distance, so he closes the distance, no problem. Gets up close to it, holding, and he can feel it, kind of butting up against his shield. Even the basilisk doesn't want to be this close, but he takes his giant mace and he brings it down as hard as he possibly can. And does a 14 to hit, and that does not hit either. So he misses as well. So he didn't miss. He hits it. He brings it down. Boom! And it just he's not looking, of course. That's why it's harder to hit. And he feels it kind of bounce off of the spikes and the scales on top of the creature. He's gonna have to look at it if he wants to hit it. He knows that. So he's moved. He's done that. Now it's Rahav's turn. Now Rahav is a distance person. She's not going to get close at all. So she's going to cast Sacred Flame. Now that means that this creature gets a dexterity save. DC is 16. I can't believe it made it! So it has a -1 to Dex. And rolled a 17, -1 is 16. The DC is what, 16? Yeah. Oh my gosh, what the heck? This is not good. So it makes it. And so she casts Sacred Flame. And so it doesn't do anything, but fire. The creature, obviously cold-blooded, senses the change in temperature before the magic takes to effect, and takes a step back before the flames engulf where it was once standing. It didn't move too much, maybe like a foot back, but still. So it totally avoided the damage whatsoever. Oh my gosh, it's now its turn. All right, so it's gonna try to reach around, Corban's shield to get an attack in. And so that's +5 to hit. It's gonna be 17 against Corban's AC of 19. Suck it. Nope, it misses. So it kind of tries to bite around, and Corban smacks it with his shield, pushing it back even more. So it's trying to get in. It can't find an opening. Corban is keeping it at bay. It's kind of a standoff right now. So the creature is going to take a step back, and that means Corban's going to take an opportunity to attack. You see what I did there? All right. Just going to bring his Morningstar down on it. Try and get it. Nice. All right. That's a 27. That definitely hits it for sure. And so it's going to be 1d8 + 5. All right, that's 8 damage. So as the creature backs up, Corban brings his Morningstar down and bam! Smacks at it. He got a sense of where it was this time, and he just kind of hits it square, boom, straight on the head, takes off 8 hit points. It backs up. It screeches in pain. This creature is not the smartest tool in the shed, has an intelligence of 2. So, anyway, it's now angry. But still, that was its turn. We're back to the top of the round. It's Ming's turn now. And so I think Ming has understood that he's going to have to get in there to do any real help. So Ming, as he runs up, he puts his boomerang in its sheath and shing, pulls out his new longsword, right? His new broadsword. And he runs up to swing at it. It's about 30 feet away now, so that's his full movement speed. Actually, no, it's not, because he can move 45. My bad. So he can make it, don't worry. He runs up, he brings his sword up high, and he shing. Remember, he's doing his best not to look at it, but he quickly looks at it to get a good swing in. And so that's going to be a d20 + 8. Nice. That's a 26. Yeah, 26 to hit. Definitely hits. So he did it two-handed, so that's going to be a d10 + 5. Nice. 6 + 5 = 11 damage. He brings his sword around, shing, brings it around, he cuts almost in between some of the spikes on its back, cuts open some of the skin, blood splurts out of it. You can hear it doesn't like that at all. Corban, seeing this as an opportunity, is going to make his move. He's going to cast something called Thunderous Smite. All right? It is a bonus action. It's his turn now. Okay, yes, I just want to make it very clear. I did mess up there. Ming still had an attack action left in his full attack action. He had 1 left. But on top of that, he had bonus actions and other things he could have done. And so I'm just going to chalk it up in my head, at least in my own head canon, that Corban was just really into the battle and kind of stepped into Ming's turn a bit. But yeah, I messed up. Oh well. Anyway, back to the action. So it's a bonus action. And so the first time you hit with a melee attack during the spell's duration, your weapon rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you. And the attack does an extra 2d6 damage to the target. Additionally, your target's a creature. You must succeed on a saving throw or be pushed 10 feet away from you and knocked prone. So here we go. So he's gonna do that. Then with his action, he's gonna attack. Oh no. Oh no! Goodness says the spell doesn't go away. But he does miss. So he casts the spell, hold his shield up, light, engulfs his shield, and then like moves to his Morning Star. He screams, "Roar!" he swipes at he moves his shield to swipe at the creature, and the creature just totally backs up and starts to look at him. And I don't think we'll see if Corban can get out of the way and can avert his gaze in time, but we'll see. It's now Rahav's turn. So that spell's still active, by the way. It only goes away once you hit, so it's still active for the next minute or so, because it's concentration. So if he takes damage, then he might lose it, but still. All right, it is Rahav's turn. She's gonna cast Guiding Bolt. I think she understands we gotta get rid of this thing. So, Guiding Bolt. A nat 1. So it is a spell, so there's no like critical failure or anything for that. But it totally whiffs. She casts it. She grabs her amulet off of her chest and holds it tightly as light, and circles around it. And she says this incantation at the top of her lungs, praying to her god Saranrae, and pushes it forward. A beam of light erupts from it and totally misses the target entirely. Just goes over its head, hits the rock behind it. Shower of sparks go everywhere. But that's about it. She whiffs. Now it's time for the Basilisk. Now, I think it's important that at this moment, after Corban swung at it and then the Guiding Bolt missed, this creature looks at Corban. And so that means that Corban's going to have to do a DC 12 Constitution saving throw. Let's hope he succeeds. So Constitution save is +7, so he's got to get a 5 or more. Oh no. Oh no. He got a 1. Oh no! He got a 1. So that means on a failed save, the creature magically begins to turn to stone and is considered restrained. So he has the restrained condition. It must repeat the saving throw at the end of its turn. So at the end of its next turn, Corban's going to have to do another save. On a failure, the creature is petrified and can only be freed by a Greater Restoration or other magic spell. I don't know if they have Greater Restoration. Ah! Alright. It's now Ming's turn. No, it's not. It's still the Basilisk's turn. Oh my gosh. The Basilisk is going to take a swipe at, or is going to take a bite at Kairo. And it is restrained. The Basilisk is going to take a bite at it with advantage. And he rolled a 12 plus 5 equals 17. That's not high enough to hit armor class. So, the Basilisk, after seeing that Corban is struggling to move a little bit, he sees kind of little parts of stone starting to appear on his skin. He quickly jumps where takes a bite and latches onto Corban's leg armor, but the armor is holding up fine. It's protecting, and Corban quickly, shoves him off or whatever and pushes him back. Now we're at the top of the round again. Ming's turn. Ming, seeing that this is a problem, Corban, he's moving slower. He is still averting his gaze and making sure he's not looking directly at the creature. Because the creature stepped back a little bit, he's gonna quickly close the gap, and he's just gonna unleash on this creature. So that means we're gonna do two things. So we're going to do a lot of attacks because I messed up last turn. He could have done 2 attacks and I didn't. That's okay. I'm gonna do my regular attack, so that means I get 2 attacks. I'll do both of them right now. Oh goodness. So that's not good. It's not good at all.